All right. It's time for an IEM Katowice open bracket cast. So, just looking back at the replay pack from Katowice, yes, I was there live casting this tournament. Yes, there was about 4,000 matches that were played. 76 of the best players in the world all came to one location, played through an epic open bracket into 4 6-man round-robin groups, into a top 12 right through to the final champion. So I'm going through and looking at a lot of the different matches just for my own interest, just because of my own curiosity. And I just like watching these games. Sometimes I get a bit hyped. A lot of the time I'm just going to be analytical, looking at the builds, figuring things out, and hopefully you guys can kind of learn along with me, and we kind of have an intersection of educational, talking about what the players are doing, and of course a whole bunch of having a bit of fun casting the game, watching the story, and looking especially at the story of some of these players in the earlier rounds who didn't necessarily make it to the later rounds, and kind of what unfolded there. Because this tournament, there's so many high-level games, many incredibly high-level players go out very early, and we never even got to see their builds on the big stream. They were only featured on the B or the C stream, or on a community stream or a different language stream. So here we go, guys. It is a best of 3 here. Very first stage of the upper bracket of an open bracket qualifier. Bracket number 4. In the top left, the red Zerg, the very aggressive Korean Zerg. He is Impact. And down here in the bottom right, in the blue, the Polish player playing in his homeland, the Terran, it is Soul. Now, Soul does have a reputation as a mechanical god, a player who is fast, his macro is on point, he can micro multiple areas at once without missing a beat with his macro, but players have said time and again that he doesn't adjust to his opponents enough, and he's very vulnerable to cheese. He tends to play a little bit greedy, and he doesn't seem to figure out how to play to his opponents as much as he should. So this is a player who we've seen go head-to-head in a really kind of just epic mechanical wars with players like Serral, where it's been back and forth, and we've seen Soul come out on top. The problem is, for him, in terms of why don't we see him in the grand finals of tournaments as much, is a lot of players cheese him out. A lot of the time he falls victim to lots of odd, out-of-the-box plays that players don't really use a lot, but they tend to use against him because they know he's weak to them. So I still think Soul is a player we could see massive, awesome, great things from in the future. But for now, he is definitely fighting to get his name up into those semis, into those grand finals. I wouldn't say he's waiting to break out. Everyone knows who Soul is if they follow the scene closely. We know he's very good, but he's looking for that really beautiful performance at a big tournament. So hopefully Soul can triumph over Impact. For Impact, on the other hand, Impact, of course, was actually featured in that StarCraft 1 documentary that came out a few years, maybe 5 years ago. And it was kind of cool because it came out right at the time where he was getting really good at StarCraft 2, and he actually made it to a grand final against Jaedong. Did he beat Jaedong in that finals? I think he beat Jaedong in the finals of a DreamHack Bucharest. Jamie, look that up for me, please. Let me know. We'll get an update for you guys in a second on whether or not that happens. Triple X says, IEM cast again. Pig, stop. We have way too many. Just remember, dude, you can put multiple VODs a day. If we put out a billion replay casts for a few days, then that's okay. The YouTube viewers will love it, my friend. Sorry it does create more work for you, but these are really simple, simple ones. Just try to get as many of these casts as possible. Now, I think he got a creep tumor there, right? Oh, no, he just forced the cancel. It is still active back there. Young Jamie's on the case. Don't worry, guys. Someone will be digging through Impact's Wikipedia history and checking that one out for us, I'm sure. 2 more barracks on the way. We got the factory there, starport as well. This is a 3cc build, so a very greedy build by Soul here. And, I mean, he sees there's not many drones there. And, yeah, he's going to split the Reaper off. He's like, oh, God, am I being nidist? He's worried. He's absolutely worried right now. He sees roaches and he goes, shit. How does Soul react? He's got Marines here kind of looking for any Overlords coming in. There's an Overlord down there. Now, we know there's a lair. There's no Nidus Worm. There could be a big frontal roachling, but it looks like drones are coming out. So it's just a slow 9 roach pressure. But Soul is freaking out. This is such a small map. His Hellions have not confirmed this yet, I don't think. Okay, he's going to get that Overlord. Will this bunker get up there? He's got to pull more SCVs. If that SCV gets focused down, he's in trouble. A Marauder on the way. 4 Marines building at a time. The 3 barracks doing a good job. Nice pullback by Impact. Saves that Roach. Oh, you got to finish it. You got to finish it. Get the Marines in the bunker. Get the Marines in the bunker. Okay, the Marines do get in, but the Roach is going to micro on past there. Has to swap bunkers. Does a good job of that. And the SCVs, the Drilly Boys, should do the work. A Marine, a Marauder. The Marines unloading from the bunker. Those Roaches not really going to find the damage. This is a triple orbital player. Nice focus fire with the Lings getting 1 or 2 more SCVs, but I mean, that's still a good economy here. Soul can float his 3rd down. He's got 3 barracks, 4 barracks, 5 barracks. Oh, what? 5 barracks? Soul. What? What is this build? Was this a reaction? I'm going to go back and check the replay when we get to the end of this one. I don't know if he dropped those barracks reactively because he thought he was being all in and just wanted more production. But those engineering bays are very late. Going 5 barracks before upgrades is very rare. Now this gives you a bit more units, a bit more pushing power in the near future. But after taking that hit, I feel like Soul's swapping into a defensive stance. That might not be the right way to play. In fact, I'm pretty convinced you need to do some sort of pressure as Soul. I think Soul sitting back the way he is, I get it, you're playing Impact, you're worried, but if you think about it, he's given too much space here to Impact, and now he's being way too careful. Impact has almost no defense. He's just started building Roaches here. He's up on 66 workers and 3 bases, and Soul here really just so paranoid. He's very afraid. His Hellions see a few more Roaches. He doesn't really know what the economic situation is, but he can assume there's 3 bases saturated. He's missing a lot of SCVs here. Is Soul. His upgrades are really late. They're not lining up because he didn't have these gases on his natural very early. His SCV production, a little bit on and off. And I feel like Soul not being quite as decisive as he needed to after that. He's now going to go and start clearing creep with a double drop. It is about time he got some pressure onto Impact. He's kind of getting gummed up. This looks like a bit of nerves from Soul. I think he's a little bit worried. I honestly, like, the way he's, like, stimming for Overseers, I don't know if he's worried about Nidus Worms or he's just trying to deny the information. He still hasn't started +1 armor. This feels like an awkward follow-up from Soul. I was talking about him being a mechanical beast. Ugh, mechanics failing him here. I mean, you're playing Impact. You want to play safer, but I think he hasn't realized that Impact is more comfortable saturating 3 bases these days. You go back to Impact a year and a half ago, he would rarely go above 50, 55 workers. And you could rely on that, and you just had to play mega safe, and you'd basically get a free win. Oh, overextension from Impact. Loses a few Roaches. Nice move there by Soul, who's finally starting to press forward. No +1 armor. I guess Soul wants to just go for this big, gigantic push. He wants to press in, but, I mean, oh, God, the Roaches get on top. The tank's not there. Oh, that's a lot of firepower. Is he going to be able to bust through? There's 12 more Roaches on the way. The Ravagers have finished morphing, and those Biles will be able to buy a little bit of time. With only 1 siege tank here, Soul needs to either shove in now or go home. He can't just take his time, and indeed, it looks like Impact's ready to take the fight. Biles landing all over. Marines are taking the damage, and it looks like a nice hold there from Impact. Impact loves that trade. 1-1 upgrades versus 0-0, and only now +1 weapons finish. And anti-timing from Soul. I can't fully understand what Soul's thinking was in this match. I'm sure if I go back and check his build order, we're going to be able to figure out something. But he's down 70 supply now, and Impact even mixing Zerglings in. I feel like that's mostly just to tank some of the siege tank shots. Obviously, you've got your upgrades for your range units, your Roach Ravagers more powerful. He's got a ton of Ravagers, 13 Ravagers there. Only 2 tanks in the bank. Oh man, that command center. Oh god, he's got to lift it. You got to lift the command center, dude. Command center does lift, is being mass repaired. Nice Bile zoning out those Medivacs. Coming in, SCVs forced into the front line. He's got to keep the tanks alive. 1 tank falls. The other tank getting some big hits, but it's just not enough. That upgrade advantage still there with the armor upgrade. No armor upgrade for Soul. Soul takes 21 SCV losses and does end up taking some huge damage. And the Roach Ravager pressing forward. Going to take out the E-Bays. Upgrades won't even make it on him though. Love these zoning Biles, just pushing those Marines back. Yes, the tank is landing a lot of shots, but Impact's okay with that. It's way ahead on the supply, and it's just going to press forward. These Biles just constantly spread all over everything, and The Drilly Boy is pulled. The Marines try to hold. Soul's going to tap out. What was going on in that opening? Was it meant to be 5 barracks all along? Was it a mistake? Did he forget the E-bays because they were meant to be in the wall, but then he got rushed? I'm not 100% sure. So it is a fast 3rd CC, right? You delay your starport with this build. That's how it works. Very economic build, right? Goes for the starport now. The second gas. I feel like the second gas normally goes down slightly before the starport, but I haven't done this build in a long time, so I could be wrong. Start the depot production down there. Cool thing with a fast 3rd CC build is you can start your extra depots so late. All this was off 2 depots, guys. And then, yeah, goes up to 5 barracks, but it's a reaction. It's a reaction. I don't particularly like it. We go to Soul's camera. Check it. Soul's scouting. It's almost time to go double engineering bay. And then Soul puts down 2 barracks. Maybe it's not a reaction. It's before his Reaper, before he saw the roaches coming. It just seems very weird to both go 3 command center and not get the upgrades. If we think about it, it does just give you more units to create pressure. You just need to be very careful with when you pick your fights. And because this push came in, it delayed the upgrades even more than they normally would be. So we see a build which delays the upgrades a bit to have just more units out, to have some potential scarier pushes, as well as, of course, a little bit more safety by having more units out. More ability to take the 3rd. But then they get delayed even more because of this. We see the starport's accidentally floating around. Of course, he was setting the rally point, and the starport was in the air, so he accidentally gave it a move command at the same time. I still think this is a perfectly fine hold, guys. 8 SCVs, 3 command centers. I think you're in a totally okay position here as Soul, but I think he needed to gamble just a tiny bit. I feel like he was trying to still keep up unit production and play mega safe. I don't think that was necessary. I think he could have powered cut marine production. Like, the double gas is perfect. He needs that immediately. And he needs double eBays straight into 1-1, like, right now. And if you watch it, it looks like he's doing that. He's prioritizing the right things. But then these engineering bays are going to finish. And he's just not going to start the upgrades straight away. So both of them are done. It's a solid 30 seconds later, maybe even longer when he starts. The +1's just hugely delayed. Forgets the armor. And as I said, he's just kind of worried about what's coming next. And he's kind of paranoid about overseers. If he just moved out with his army, cleared all the Zerglings, and then just went home, he would only be at risk if Impact was doing wave 2 of the exact same attack, which is a terrible decision. Even a madman like Impact's never going to do that. So I really feel like he could have done it, cleared the vision, forced Impact to build a few more units and play safer. But most importantly, hit your depots, hit your upgrades, macros smoothly, land your 3rd, you're back in this game. The problem is, look at the SCV count. We can go back to like, what, 610, 620? SCV count is 45 at 6 minutes 15. It might have already been at 45 for a while. Okay, so 45 at 6:15. And then if we go to 2 minutes later, 8:15, or 3 command centers, you should have a lot more SCVs. There's been no combat in this time, guys. Nothing except a very slight bit of harass. And then by 8 minutes, he's only gone 5 SCVs up. So he attacks just before +1, and 1-1 just finished during the fight for Impact. Impact actually engaging a little bit too early because he was worried about tanks getting position. Pretty bad choice by Impact. I think if Impact just split half of his roaches down there, half his roaches here, waited for the Ravages to finish, I think he would have crushed this attack twice as hard. So, not the best game there from Soul. Impact, just with a bit of a roach pressure on the very small map, throwing him off his game and finding some more mistakes. So, let's hop into map number 2 and see how we go. Warhammer, thank you for the 6-month resub. We're into the 3rd trimester. Nice. Weird request. Try to say the word wallaby in the middle of a fast-paced moment. I'm not going to remember to do that. But I can try to say wallaby. Wallaby. I don't know. I said it fast. Not afraid to point out mistakes. I try not to do it too blatantly in casts, Arnak, where I'll point them out, but I'll be very nice about it. In this case, I will sit here scratching my head since we're on my own stream, and I will go, hey, what the shit was this guy thinking? What happened here? Oh, he just made a mistake. Yeah, I think it was a bit unfortunate in that game, but let's see if he can come back. Up here in the top left, in the blue, it's Soul. It's going gas first. Down here in the bottom right, going for a 16 hatch, it's Impact. Thank you very much, JRKZ, for the 20-month resub. Much love. Coming up on that 2-year anniversary, where you do, of course, get that beautiful rainbow subscriber badge. Thank you very much for the support, mate. His moves are very impactful. You just love wallaby as a word. It's great, isn't it, Warhammer? It's not bad, not bad. I have a few words that I enjoy. I'll see if I can think of any. If they come up, I'll point them out. There's certain words I just love to say. There's also just like sayings. Dickhead, or dickhead's just a fantastic word, Harnack. You know that. It's just a great word. Dickhead's one of my faves. Deloach. Thank you very much for the Twitch Prime sub. Welcome to the Pigsty, friend. So this is a big map, guys. Hard to be aggressive on. But since Soul's gone gas first... Whoops. Oh, yeah. Soul really unconfident here. Accidentally boxed 2 SCVs and sent them over to build the factory. Factory does go down on time, but he's going to go reactor, which means this Reaper is not going to go across the map. I am pretty certain he's not going to gamble on that, because that would be madness against Impact. I'm pretty sure he's going to not let this Reaper go to the rally point. He's going to look around for some early poolings and then hang out at his natural. Surely. Surely when you're down a game against Impact. Yeah. Impact's the kind of guy who will go 14 pool and build 10 Zerglings and try to cancel your command center. Like, Impact's a maniac. So, Soul playing safe, this makes perfect sense. I'm all for players taking risks when they're down, but that would be an unnecessary, pointless risk off this opening. You've already got a really nice opening. You'll get Hellions out very early in the game. So, good play here. There are 4 Lings that are going to make their way across the map, realizing the Reaper was late, but the Reaper's going to find them. Nice. Soul will get that position. Third hatch does go down. Standard opening here for Impact. Just leaving 1 worker on gas as well. 1 Ling splits off and goes past. The other 2 going home. And the Reaper only going to be able to find 1 kill behind this. Starport does drop down immediately. A single Marine on the way. Hellions building 2 at a time. The Reaper comes in, sees the 3rd base. And these 2 Queens going to be getting that creep started, no doubt. 3rd Queen is building in the main base. And lots of drones on the way for Impact. Nice, solid opening. Soul, he's going to poke back in. He'd love a creep tumor kill. But you see Impact's aware of it. He says, nope. We're not going to give you that opportunity. Now, looking at the vision, we see Impact has 2 Overlords on the other side of the map. That means going for a Viking opening is fantastic against Impact. It's really good. So this is my opening right now. This is my current standard ZVT. He's going to queue up a Viking on that in just a moment. And then he'll build a tech lab there. No? Okay, he's going to opt for 2 Marines. Unfortunately, he doesn't see the Overlord coming in. He's going for a Fusion Core in the back, guys. That's what I mean by my opening. He's going to go BCs. Normally, I get a Viking with this build. That extra Marine needs to come onto this. Now, he sees the Tech Lab on the Starport. So, Impact will know, of course, to build Spore Crawlers, but in fact, he might not. Oh, this could be really bad for Impact. Okay, so what Impact's doing here, let me talk about it. First of all, Overlord goes down. Very nice job from the Marines. So, what Impact's doing is he's saying, oh, okay, you could go Cloak Banshees. I'll get a fast lair, because I know your Tech Lab wasn't finished when I scouted. Did he just see the Fusion Core? Oh, no, you just let him run in the front door with that Zergling Soul. No! Doesn't even matter. I was going to say, he's basically saying, let's skip Spore Crawlers, be as greedy as possible, rely on just Queens to defend anti-air. And that's so good if you're going BC, because Overseers don't do shit against BCs. You need Queens, you need Spores, you need a lot of defense. Now Impact has scouted the Fusion Core, and you know what? Being Impact, he might assume it's going to be cancelled, because no high-level Terran player worth their salt is going to have the Fusion Core scouted before it's even finished and then still go for BC. Soul has cancelled it, but you know what? Impact has called his bluff. It's not even a bluff. Like, he's basically... Impact is just like, nah, I'm not even going to build Spores. 5 Queens, no Spores. I am the gamble god. My name's Impact. Welcome to Dicktown. This is so bad for Soul. Letting that Zergling in, plus Impact's confidence. Okay, he's building them at the last possible second. 2 Spores there, 1 at the 3rd. He's still skimping on it. Only 5 Queens. No more Queens. 2 in the main, 1 at the 3rd. Yeah, this is still like the bare minimum defense. He's actually going for Burrow and Roach Speed as well. What are you even doing, Impact? What is this build, you madman? He's only at 45 drones, which I find quite weird also. He's now going Overlord speed. Liberator does come in, siege up that base. I think he's just going to do a Roach Queen drop build. But, Yeah, I guess it's going to be like the Ravager Queen drop Zergling all in, something like that. Just like delayed. It's a very weird opening here by Impact. He's going Burrow and Roach. I guess he's just going to slow down the third base, maybe do a bit of pressure. The tank doesn't cover the wall. He can take out those with Biles. He's already forcing bunkers. So Impact here just looking for a bit of damage. Just wants to get in Soul's face. Nicely done. Liberator is still alive. Hasn't killed anything though. It just wasted mining time on that third. And remember, Impact did skip a Spore in the natural. Has 2 there. He's realizing at this point BCs definitely aren't on the menu. And he's just going to double upgrades. Now, Impact a little bit slow to drone up here. But he has completely blocked Soul from doing direct damage. As long as Impact doesn't throw away any of these units, it's a fantastic position for the Zerg player. That being said, Soul's not down and out. He's got... Oh, he's going mech. Oh, Soul's going mech. Soul, not the sort of player I really associate with mech play normally, but he's going to be going for mech. Impact, though, loves roaches, even if he's playing versus bio. So his style automatically puts him in a good spot versus mech. As Soul, you've got to be very careful here. Soul's going to move down and try to take this base. Ling's ready to backstab the natural. These Ravagers being a giant pain in the ass. He's even going to burrow a Roach there. And he might be able to do it again when that scan runs out. The Overlord is still pooping creep. Impact leading a few units in here, though. Maybe a little bit ambitious. He's just trying to... Oh, he just wants to focus down the Marine. He gets the Marine! Oh, man. This is so annoying for Soul. Impact's like, yeah, I'm willing to sacrifice these units as long as the Overlord can keep moving. I would actually shimmy that Overlord to the left just to make sure the creep is more centered. There is a Viking coming out. Where is that Viking? Viking is chasing an Overseer. And look at that. Impact's distracting it on purpose. He says, come chase me, come chase me, come chase me. Impact doing everything he can to stop the Viking from getting the Overlord. Now, he shouldn't have lost the Overseer. That was bad. That was a mistake. But hey, anything he can do to just slow down this base. A couple of Lings run in the natural. It doesn't even have a wall off since the CC lifted off. And he burrows a few there to be annoying later as well. I don't think Soul realized. Soul, you need to scan there, but he doesn't realize half of his SCVs aren't mining. Oh, this is a shit show. Roaches are on the front. We've got an infestation pit, a 4th and a 5th base going up simultaneously. 1-1 upgrades are on the way, and he can just build like 16 swarm hosts and then wreck it. Zerglings do unburrow, but still a lot of SCVs just chilling. Let's go to Soul's camera here. Soul trying to just kind of establish, but he's stuck in his corner of the map. I'd love to see a few Hellions get out on the map. At the moment, he doesn't have any response if there was a Mutalisk swap, but he's building a few turrets. Yeah, he's going to try and scan. He sees the infestation pit. There we go. Hellions are going to go out. Soul is going to try and put on a little bit of pressure, but he's got to just keep these Hellions alive. This is really easy for Impact to deal with. Where are Impact's Roaches? They're already split into 2 locations, half on the north, half on the south, anticipating Hellion pressure and ready to deal with it. Now, his creep spread has not been as fast as I would like. Impact, of course, has been microing all that harassment on the front. He's got a good supply lead, and he has got 12, soon to be 16 swarm hosts out. That's the magic count. Not getting +2 upgrades. I'd love to see at least a +2 range. Very important for chewing through those mech units. And there we go. Doesn't have the gas for carapace just yet. He's going Hive, Hydroden. There's a few spines all over the place and more drones behind this. Roaches here running around near the front. Tanks doing some good damage. Hellbat's there as well, but the swarm hosts are here. And he's got to micro these locusts onto the tanks. Let's see if Impact micros his locusts. Yeah, looks like he's control-clicked them, and now he's got to spread them on the siege tanks. He wants to land them away from the Hellbats. Not the best land, not the worst. Gets 1 siege tank, gets the sensor tower, it burns down, and these locusts, are they going to burn? They didn't land right on top, but almost get another siege tank. It was okay. What you want to do there is you actually want to box those locusts and land them on separate siege tanks if you want to make sure they do the best damage. And is it live? My stream is always live. This, however, is a replay cast, guys, from IEM Katowice. That tournament, of course, finished a week and a half ago. So I cannot go back in time to cast it. These are just replays. This is the open bracket stage. Soul versus Impact. Impact, of course, up a game. Soul looking for some worker kills, but not really finding anything just yet. Hellions on the south as well. Now, this is good because it can buy him some time. The problem is that's even less Hellions at home, and he doesn't have that many Hellions to begin with. Hellions are what protect your tanks from locusts. Hellions are what you need. He's got a few Hellbats spread through. Is it going to be enough? Decent land there from Impact. It wasn't perfectly spread, but he still gets enough surface area, lands the Biles. I would give that one a 7.5 out of 10. And he really only needed a 4.5 to do good damage here. So good job, Impact. Good job. Gets the job done. Hellbat's Morph and start trying to take down these spines. A few more Hellbats would have helped there because Soul needed to be able to keep all those tanks sieged up. Try to do some damage. He's going to try and get his building armor. Oh, you're kidding me. Denied half a second from completion. Building armor does get shut down. He's trying to take a new base on the south side. A single burrowed Zergling being a giant dickhead and blocking that base. And it looks like that's going to be it. Soul just getting drowned out here. Not playing as confidently as I would like to see. Impact playing very decisively on the other hand and getting into a very nice position. So well played here by Impact. Not too keen on playing Mech versus Impact. I think it just makes Impact's life way too easy. He's too much of a roach-focused player to begin with. So if you're already planning to go roaches, you've already got a head start versus Bio. He's a very aggressive player with a lot of flexibility. So I definitely feel like Bio was a better chance for Soul there. But game one, he did a good hold initially and then fell apart a little bit on the back foot of that. GG, well played. Bad luck. Let's see if Soul can do well in the lower bracket. GG, well played.